So my first example on this one involves a decimal, as promised, and the steps for working with the decimal may surprise you. So I'm going to go ahead and jot down step 1, change the decimal to a fraction. So this is going to require that you know some of the basic fractions in decimal form, such as 1/4, 1/2, 1/5 even. I would expect you to know what that is as a decimal. 1/3, although we probably, because of the repetitive nature of that one, may not end up seeing that in a problem. But I would still expect you to have that one memorized. So my 0.25 is a quarter. So think of money, it's a quarter of a dollar. So I'm going to change it to a quarter. Why am I doing that? Because it's actually easier to work with fractions than decimals. I know most of you prefer working with decimals, but fractions are easier. So that's why we're converting it. Step 2, we will simplify as needed. That's an L. Now in this case, again, we've seen this type of example before with integers. I'm going to show you there's 2 methods for this one. What's nice about this one is that if I distribute the 1/4, remember this right here, this bar, means divide. And when I look at the 2 numbers inside the parentheses, they're both divisible by 4. So if I distribute the 1/4, I'm still going to get whole numbers, so I can work with that. But if they're not, there's another thing that I can do to get rid of that 1/4. And again, remember, it's dividing by 4. I can cancel it, so I'll show you both methods. Let me rewrite this real quick. So if I use order of operations backwards, remember, the steps for solving equations haven't changed. Order of operations backwards to determine what to cancel. Step 4, golden rule. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. So if I knew what y was, I would first multiply by 8, then subtract 12. The last thing I would do is to multiply by 1/4, or divide by 4, which is what that fraction means. So if I'm going to do that backwards, I can multiply both sides by 4, canceling my 1/4, leaving me with the 8y minus 12, and 4 times -10 is -40. Remember, on the side with the variable, don't ever actually perform the operation. Just cancel. So it looks more confusing than it actually is. You're just canceling. And then I can solve it relatively easily. Now my fraction is gone, and my decimal, because I got rid of that right away. If I borrowed $40 and I pay back 10, I'm $30 in debt. Pay back 2 more, I'm $28 in the hole. And dividing both sides by 8 to cancel. I know that I can simplify this because 28 and 8 are both even, but they also both have a factor of 4. So -28 divided by 4 is -7. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So quickly I'm going to show you the other method, and that's the distributive property. So simplifying, so following step 2, simplifying. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and -12 divided by 4 is -3. And then, order of operations backwards, and following the golden rule, I will cancel my -3, and divide both sides by 2. So we got the same answer, so that checks out. You can choose which method you prefer. We'll run through one more quickly, and then we'll have our you try. So again, following the process in the right-hand column, change the decimal to a fraction. Simplify as needed. You could distribute, but notice on this one that 3 is not divisible by 2. Remember, we are going to be dividing by 2. So I'm actually just going to use method 1 on this one and multiply both sides by -2. Why am I multiplying by -2? To cancel the -1/2. So don't perform the operation on the side with the variable. The right-hand side, 32 times -2 is -64. Applying golden rule once more with my minus 2, canceling on the side with the variable. I get negative 62 on the right-hand side, and dividing by negative 3. Why am I dividing by negative 3? To cancel my multiplication. Negative divided by a negative cancels, so my answer is going to be positive. And 62 is not divisible by 3, so I'm going to leave it as 62 thirds. And your U-try problem.